Reviving Viva Inka Golds with Glycerin. Ever since I heard about all the uses of glycerin from the Frugal Crafter, there's a link in the description box below to her video, I have been discovering wonderful ways to use glycerin in the art studio. The Frugal Crafter demonstrates how to soften student-grade watercolors that have dried into cracked cakes. My video is an experiment in using glycerin to soften my dried Viva Inka Golds. Come on, let's see if we can make these golds worth something again. Hi, I have another experiment that I want to try again today. If it works, it will be a quick tip. If it doesn't work well, it'll be a failed experiment, and I'll share my experiences with you. What I have here is really quite interesting. Are some Inka Golds that I ordered, and I enjoy working with them. I do find that they dry out. Now, I have been advised that if you take a baby wipe and put into your Inka Gold, this one's getting dry. I think I'll keep this out. My baby wipes eventually dry out too. This one's still damp, but it's starting to dry out. Now on my red, I was working with my red one yesterday. This is a lava red. And I was working with it yesterday, and I did spritz some water in there. I don't like to spritz water in there because water sitting in here can become moldy. But I did spritz it with water, and I re-dampened my baby wipe, and it seems to be soft and pliable today. It was really, as you can tell, see here, in here, where I kind of had to really squeeze on it to get it out. What is annoying me is, now this is the blue one, and the blue one came with a little plastic shield to it, but none of my others had that. And I'm going, well, do only certain colors have the shield? What happened to the colors on my other my others? And what I noticed is, just as I was filming this, is on these, the label's on the lid. On this one, for some reason or another, the label's on the back and the lid has and I think I bought this at one of the stores, and it doesn't have a cover either. And it's still nice and pliable, but I just bought this recently. But I find it interesting that the label's not on the lid, the label's on the bottom. And this is called Inka Gold Metallic Rub, and this is just called Inka Gold. They're both by Viva. Must be a difference in, maybe they just started marketing these differently. But anyway, here's my yellow one, and it's very, very dry. And my green one is starting to get dry. So on these two, I am going to, remember my friend Glycerin? The Frugal Crafter has alerted me to all the uses of glycerin. In fact, so much so that I ordered a gallon of it. I'm making a jelly plate, a large one, and so I decided I needed more than... Now, I don't think I need a whole lot here. I'm going to put some glycerin on here. I'm just going to kind of dribble it on. And can you see how much I added? Not a whole lot. And I'm just going to kind of, as if I were spritzing it with water. Now, I know that she says that if you apply glycerin to like your ink pads or your felt tip pens, the Frugal Crafter, that's one of her tips, that if you apply glycerin to it, it will soak in and soften up the pad. And I want to see if it will soften up this. I'm going to put a little bit more on there. I did not have a full cap here. I probably had 1/4 of a cap. So let's call that 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to do the same here. going to put quite as much on that because it was not quite as dry. It was just starting to dry. Now I'm not going to put the baby wipes back in there. Tomorrow, I'm going to let these set for 24 hours. And tomorrow, I'm going to put a little bit more on that yellow one. It just seems to me, just feels like it needs more. The green one doesn't feel like it needs more. The green one feels like I've got, even with the little that I put on there. Let's cover up the green cap here. I'm not going to put the baby wipe inside of it because I want to make sure that it's the glycerin doing the trick if it works. If it doesn't work, then I don't want to confuse the two with the baby wipe. Was it the baby wipe or was it the glycerin? But I think this yellow's so dry, I feel like I need to add more. My gut feeling says add a little more. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's just say I added a teaspoon. That may be a little too much, but this was awfully dry. It's starting to cake up. So I added it to my green and to my gold. And I know you're supposed to get your cap down there and close it up tight. I know they tell you to do that. So I'm going to close it up tight. And I'm going to keep these two out separate. These others, I've checked them and the baby wipe is still relatively good. And I know if you spritz them with water, you can, even the dry ones will come back to life. So, or enough to use them. So I'm going to put the rest of these in the baggie and not worry about them for now. I'm going to check these two tomorrow. Hi, I'm back and it's been 24 hours and I'm ready to check my Inka Golds that I put glycerin in. I'm going to check the gold one first. It was the driest. And here it is. Now it's pretty dry yet, but it is softer, especially down in the middle where the glycerin probably ran. This right in here is still pretty dry. I'm going to get brave and put a lot of glycerin in here. Let's check the green one. Now the green one was already sort of soft. And I can tell that, yeah, it's a little bit softer. At least it feels, when I press down on it, it feels like a shoe wax when I press down on it. But I'm going to put more glycerin in both of these. I think the glycerin will soften it up, but I think it's a matter of knowing how much to put in. And I'm pretty timid about it. But this time I'm not going to be. I mean, it's going to dry up anyway, so, and I don't think the glycerin is going to hurt it. I'm going to put a whole cap full in here, and I'm also going to swirl it around. I mean, I guess basically I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm thinking that it will soften that. I'm thinking that it'll soften up my Inka Golds. Now I'm going to put a cap full on here too, because I just don't think it's going to hurt them. I think it's going to soften them up. And you know what? I'm going to get really brave. We might find this in a... I want to see them as soft and pasty as when I first opened them. And the gold has been really dry. I'm going to let some of that glycerin fall down into the... Now I put two caps here, probably, well, probably a teaspoon, maybe, so 2 teaspoons into the gold and 1 teaspoon on the green. And I'm going to close it up again and check it again tomorrow. This is another 3-day project, I think. I think it's going to soften it up. It's just a matter of knowing how much glycerin to use. And you do want to get these caps on straight, and you want to put them on pretty tight so that the air doesn't dry them up again. So we'll check them tomorrow. I'll be back in 24 hours. Hi, it's day 3, and I'm back with my experiments on my Inka Gold. My camera is mounted way up high. That's why you're kind of seeing these from a distance. I've been working on my wallpaper journal, and I don't have a zoom that works for me on my camera, so I have to position it where I want it. So anyway, so I'll just hold these up. I will tell you that I kind of cheated between yesterday and today and tested my Inka Gold. I did put 1 more capful in. So I think I said 2 teaspoons yesterday, and then last night I opened it up and looked at it and I added another teaspoon. However, I'm really happy with what's going on here. Look at that. Look how nice and soft it's getting. This is what I wanted, especially in here. Right in here, right in there, right there. It's really soft and supple, like I would expect it to be if I were just going to work on it. And you can see I can just take my hand and it still has some ways to go, but there's still glycerin on top here. So I imagine this will soak in as it sits. So I'm just going to take an index card here. Maybe the start for my next iCAD. Look how nice it applies to my paper, just like I want. Let's get it off of my hands here. I got a nice. This is I'm calling it gold. It really is orange. So it's a little bit more of an orange color than a yellow color. Okay, so I think we can call this a success if we put enough in. Now I'm going to take a baby wipe, and tear it in half. I'm going to take one, just one. See, I'm getting close to the bottom of my baby wipes. I'm going to tear it in half. Well, I think I'm going to tear it in half, as much as can be. And I'm going to put half of it over here into my Inka Gold just to... And that is not a new technique. That's something that was told to me to do. But I think the glycerin will soften up your dried out Inka Golds. And then you can put a baby wipe on there and kind of keep it that way. Now the green I did not add more to. And it's nice and soft though. It was soft when I first started, and I think I added 1 teaspoon to it. And it's still, it's soft. It's not as soft even now as the gold is. But I could add more to it if I wanted, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave it like it is. So let's just put some, well, maybe I will, just for, because it's still, and I'm going to add more to, all my others. I have about 8 of them. I ordered an entire gallon of glycerin because I'm thrilled. I use it for embossing. I use it for my embossed drippage. I'm starting to experiment with how it will keep sticky journal pages from sticking together. I don't have a conclusion on that yet. It's kind of a long-term experiment. The pages that I've applied it to are not sticking, but it's winter time and we don't have the heat and humidity, so the jury's still out on that. I'm still going to put the baby wipe in there, and then when I do my others, I'll open this one up and put more glycerin in. So I'm going to call this experiment a success. If you have dried out Inka Golds, put a couple of teaspoons. Just keep adding it a teaspoon at a time until it becomes nice and pliable again. Now I don't know if anybody else has tried this. I've been following the Frugal Crafter, and she uses glycerin for her ink pads, and I don't know if she suggested it for the Inka Golds, but if she hasn't, she should. I tried it and it works. So I have a lot I want to get done today. I want to start working on the next page in my wallpaper journal, and I have an index card started. So maybe I'll work on my index cards today. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next page.